Nestled among towering peaks and quiet valleys, there was a village where life moved gently. And in that village lived a young man named Marco, 24 years old, carrying a weight far heavier than his age. His mind, it never rested. Thoughts arrived like uninvited guests, one after another, filling every corner of his consciousness. Regrets from yesterday whispered in his ear. Anxieties about tomorrow pulled at his heart. He existed somewhere between what was and what might be, never quite landing in the present. Sleep became a stranger. Joy, a distant memory. His inner world felt like a tempest that refused to calm. Then one afternoon, Marco heard a story that sparked something inside him. High in the distant hills, there lived an elder who once walked the crowded streets of the city as a healer of minds, a psychologist who had touched countless lives. But time had taught him a deeper truth, and so he left the noise behind, choosing instead the embrace of nature, the simplicity of silence. Those who sought him out still found gentle guidance waiting. Marco's heart stirred with hope. Perhaps, just perhaps, this man could show him the way to stillness. The journey was long, winding through rugged paths and endless slopes. But when Marco finally arrived, he found a humble dwelling wrapped in vines and tranquility. On the porch sat the elder, eyes closed, embodying the very peace Marco longed for. Approaching slowly, Marco's voice barely rose above a whisper. "Grandfather, my thoughts never stop. My heart knows no rest. Can you teach me how to find peace?" The elder's eyes opened slowly, warmly, as if he'd been expecting this question all along. He smiled and said simply, "You seek stillness? Then walk with me. I have something for you to carry." In the small courtyard behind the house, the elder filled a glass with water, right to the very brim, where surface tension held each drop in place. He placed it carefully in Marco's hands and said, "Take this to the village edge and return to me. But here is your only task. Do not let a single drop fall." Marco's eyes widened, but something in the elder's gaze told him this was more than it seemed. So he accepted, holding the glass as if it contained something sacred. The path ahead was alive with movement. Villagers passed by, vendors called out their wares, children laughed and chased one another, dogs barked at invisible threats. Yet Marco's gaze never wavered. It stayed fixed on the trembling surface of the water. Each step became a meditation, each breath deliberate. The world around him faded into a soft hum as his entire being focused on this one fragile task. People glanced his way with curiosity, but no one interrupted. They sensed he was learning something ancient. When Marco returned, not a single drop had been lost. He stood before the elder, a quiet pride in his chest. "I did it, grandfather, the water, it stayed." The elder nodded, his smile deepening. Then he asked gently, "But tell me, young one, did you notice the children spinning in circles by the road? Did you hear the melody of the marketplace?" Marco paused, realization dawning slowly. I didn't. I saw nothing but the glass. I heard nothing but my own breathing." The elder's voice softened, like a warm breeze carrying wisdom from far away. "And there, right there, my boy, you discovered what you came searching for. When your awareness rests completely in this moment, there is no room left for regret, no space for fear. You held that glass, and in doing so, you held only now. Your mind wasn't reliving old wounds. It wasn't rehearsing imagined disasters, it simply was, and in that being you found stillness." Something shifted in Marco's chest, a lightness he hadn't felt in years. Peace wasn't hiding on some distant mountaintop or locked inside another person's words. It had been with him all along, waiting patiently for him to arrive in the present moment. He bowed his head, gratitude flowing through him. "Thank you, grandfather, I understand now. If I want to quiet the storm inside, I must anchor myself here. In this breath, in this step, in this heartbeat, that is where peace lives." The elder smiled as the golden light of evening painted the world in gentle hues. Birds traced their way home across the sky. Marco turned to leave, but he was no longer the same young man who had arrived days before. Something fundamental had shifted. He carried with him now a truth that could never be taken away. That every moment holds the possibility of peace if only we choose to meet it fully. At Brain Edukit, we believe that wisdom doesn't always arrive in grand revelations. Sometimes it comes in a glass of water, a quiet walk, a single breath. Every story we share is an invitation to discover the calm that already exists within you. If this lesson resonated with your heart, stay with us. Because the journey of understanding ourselves never truly ends, it only deepens. Until the next story unfolds, may you find your own moments of stillness, and may they remind you that peace has always been yours to claim.